Emil Guillermo, Emil Muck to you. Welcome to my Takeout, my Emil and Muck's Takeout, my takes on all things considerable. Insiders know there's a joke in there. All things considerable. We're here. It's the last week of the year, and I guess this is not the day that you throw out the confetti from your windows. I mean, most people work at home. Well, I mean, since COVID, I mean, people are going back to work. So maybe we'll see people throwing calendars. Maybe people will be throwing their Palm Pilots out the window. That used to be a tradition to throw calendars, the little loose leaf calendars out the window. But all right, that's coming up on the 31st. It's not the 31st yet. It's the 30th. Lots to talk about today. I do want to mention that my Emil Amok 69, you say 69 again, Emil? I mean, you still do 69? Well, yeah. I mean, that's the name of my show. I mean it metaphorically. Emil Muck 69. Emil does it in San Francisco. It's free, sort of. If you're watching me on YouTube, go to playgroundsf.vbotickets.com, playgroundsf.vbotickets.com, and then see me at the Solo Fest. 69 Emil Muck, a real journalist, stands up. Get your ticket. It's a donation, right? And it's a nonprofit. It's free, essentially. Pick a date. Come see me. Pick a date that if you say, I can't be in San Francisco, I'm in Tampa, I'm in Texas, I'm another tea place, Tiburon. Oh, you're in Tiburon? Well, you can afford to come in, Uber in, see me on Potrero Hill. The Potrero stage is where I'm doing this show. It's about 55 minutes. I tell my story that I've been touring in Canada, and I was in Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, all the fringe festivals. But it's different because it's 2026 and things are different. If you look at the news, and this is about the news, my show, Emil Amok 69. See me deal with my Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, if that's an enticement, no, I don't want to. Come see it, Emil Amok 69. Go to playgroundsf.vbotickets.com. It's starting up on January. I think it's January 17th. I mean, I should know the dates, but the fact that I don't know the dates is kind of remarkable. But you can check out the dates by going to playgroundsf.vbotickets.com. And yeah, the first show is on the 17th, a Saturday at 7 p.m. First show Saturday the 17th, and then there's another show on, when's the other show? 8:30 on Monday the 26th. So I do 4 shows there. So check it out. And then there's another show in February the 7th, which should be a Super Bowl. I mean, the day before the Super Bowl. And then I do another show on February the 2nd at 8:30. So lots of different times to see me at this Solo Fest. See 1 hour of Emil Amok doing 69. That sounds kind of interesting, doesn't it? 1 hour of Emil Amok doing 69. All right. So this show is different from the show I do, because in this show here, I stand in front of my gong. Sort of like, are you Gatsby fans? The eye of T.J. Eckleberg. The eye, not the eyes. The eye of T.J. Eckleberg. Standing in my Vegan Power t-shirt in my closet, talking to you about stuff, about news. Dan Gonzalez, Professor Daniel Phil Gonzalez, he'll be here joining me shortly. I do want to say that the big headline as we speak is the fact that Tatiana Schlossberg, who's an environmental journalist and the granddaughter of John F. Kennedy and a cousin of RFK Jr., well, she died today at just 35. And, this was a high-profile death, and it's worth mentioning because we're in a period where, the nights are long, or the days are short. The nights are long. It's cold. It's kind of depressing, and it's almost a perfect time to deal with death if you can. I mean, you should be kind of feel fortunate that, oh, I get to deal with death during this terrible time. And if you're not, then you just deal with the sadness. It's sad because she's one of America's first families, the Kennedys, right? And she did this very public first person piece in the New Yorker where she talked about how her cousin, RFK Jr., I mean, he's good on some health issues, bad on others, but Tatiana was part of the Kennedys that were frowning upon the kind of things that RFK Jr. was doing. But now the family has to come together in death. It's kind of an irony of this moment. As someone who has dealt with death recently, my brother-in-law, I think what you find out when you go to these funerals is that once you die, you're gone. And Filipinos have these open casket funerals. And when my brother-in-law died, I just said, he's gone. His energy is somewhere, though, right? That's the thing. You believe that your body is like a set of clothes, and you are somewhere. The energy is. I believe my brother-in-law, who was a big Golden State Warrior fan, probably when the ball is like rimming around the hoop and not wanting to go in, my brother-in-law is like pushing it over. He's like, get in there. I'm sure he's doing that because he would like to get the credit in the box score of scoring 2 points. Of course, it wouldn't go to him because he's just an Oswong, right? He's flying in. But that's my brother-in-law. I'm sure that Tatiana Schlossberg, her spirit still lives for the Kennedys and the people who, admired her work as an environmental journalist and her courage to speak out in that New Yorker article. Like I said, death does something to you, especially when you're closer to it than you are to your high school graduation or your college graduation or your first job. I mean, as you get older, you get a little more, have this wisdom that is conferred onto you, and you just say, yeah, maybe you get more spiritual, or maybe you say, there's no body in there when you look in the casket, but the spirit is alive somewhere, and you become more spiritual. So, a time of mourning for the Kennedys. Tatiana Schlossberg has died. If you read that essay in the New Yorker, it really is. I just thought about how when my brother-in-law was dying, you had to go see him. When we got the word that he's dying, I hope that people just went and saw Tatiana Schlossberg, if you're a family member or if you were not, because once it's over, it's over. And then the body goes, but the spirit lives on. So as they say, may her memory be a blessing. She died today. So that kind of got in the news, which is all right. It's important to get that kind of personal stuff in because we got a lot of other stuff in the news to talk about today that is not exactly, makes you wonder, where is this country going? I think the big news for me is the economy, and 20 million Americans are going to have health insurance issues when the Affordable Care Act, when their premiums go up and then nearly double next year. Affordability is a real thing. People are going to be talking about premiums. I have friends who said, hey, we're paying $1,400. That's more than we were paying. And we got lousier insurance. People are talking about the price of groceries. They're talking about the economy is not good. It's good for some people, but not all. My utility bill went up to $800 this month, more than $800, actually. So that's sort of the big news. And then the big news of the day, really, where we are with this. Are we at war? Are we at war with Venezuela? Are we? I don't know. Let me bring in my friend, Professor Daniel Phil Gonzalez, to come in and help me out, help make sense of the world. Dan,
Yes,
I
sir.
mean,
Good
we're at the end.
afternoon.
We're at
Afternoon.
the end. We're at the end of the year,
Yep.
and then this is the year when you think about, well, what how are you going to deal with taxes next year?
A
Are you
year
dealing
that
with
feels like five.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It does. Like it feels like we've been through 5 years.
Yeah.
It's almost like dog years, right?
It's like an indirect compliment to the efficacy of the Trump administration
Yeah.
in implementing Project 2025.
You're there. A lot of people have sort of forgotten about that, but some remember that. Hey, we were talking about Project 2025 before the last election, and everyone seemed to be fine with it. And I guess we're not fine with it.
Yeah, I don't know about fine with it. I think they just figured that people like you and I, regardless of our journalistic exploits,
Mm, yeah,
are just talking crazy, like some of our critics have said.
yeah,
But the reality was that most Americans did not pay attention to all of the people who were saying that
right,
Project 2025 could be implemented in full,
yeah,
because a lot of the results sounded fantastic.
yeah,
But I said on this podcast
yeah,
that you have to really take a look at the way it's expressed.
yeah,
That all of the moves that they make all throughout Project 2025 are based in facts. They start with facts, then they interpret what those facts mean, then they suggest ways that the issues that are raised by those facts, right, can be addressed. And so the first two-thirds of their presentation is rational, especially the first third.
So it sounds convincing.
Yeah, yeah,
It
it sounds
sounds like
logical. It sounds
yeah,
logical and plausible and ethical. Okay,
yeah,
so then when you get to the third part, that's where that's where the knives are. That's where the shredder is, right?
yeah.
And once you get your fingers caught in the shredder, the rest is really predictable.
Well, that was the ideological part. That is, if we know that immigrants are a problem, then we got to go after immigrants. Are you an immigrant? Sorry. Or are you a person of color? Sorry.
Well, it's also, do you have the implementation? How do you have the tools to be able to do that? And
Yeah,
and Project 2025 made sure they had the tools to be able to do that. They made
yeah,
sure they took over leadership of specific departments. They made sure that the courts, they were going to go for the courts, and they made sure that the positions that they took were likely to be upheld and supported by SCOTUS. Okay,
hmm
all of those things were done. They were assuming success at all levels of the federal court system, which they failed. Lucky for us. The problem is that they had middling success at the appellate level, and they have had great success at the Supreme Court.
yeah. And that's sort of the thing that I think if you do a year in review, you see the executive branch taking power, trying to implement 2025, Congress being neutered by the executive branch, the Supreme Court you know, uplifting the executive branch, saying, "Yeah, we're all, yeah," and you people have all their views, possibly correct about
Yeah,
how corrupt the Supreme Court is, but there it is, the Supreme Court saying anything. Well, they're not saying everything that the executive branch is good because lately we've seen a kind of pushback on the National Guard on that case. But all right, that's one case. The
yeah.
rest of the cases, it's pretty much
Well,
whatever Trump
gotta,
wants.
they're going to be. I don't know when that decision is going to come down. It probably won't come down until the spring or even the summer.
Yeah.
But they're hearing oral arguments right now on the legality of the tariffs.
Yeah. Well, that's a big deal because the tariffs are what's causing some of this economic distress because the tariffs are indeed a tax on the American people. The money in the treasury comes not from foreign countries, but from us, taxpayers, consumers, not taxpayers, but consumers who, like I was trying to buy chestnuts the other day, because we have an open fire, a chestnuts roasting on the open fire. Chestnuts are like $6 a pound. And that's domestic. $12 for imported. I just started singing the song, saying, "Forget the chestnuts." Uh, we're consumers on the open fire.
Yeah, they don't taste that good anyway, man.
Well, they're kind of mushy. They're not
Well, it depends on, yeah.
snappy. You know,
If you take your time and you don't overcook them,
yeah.
they're still good, but they're not that flavorful.
Well,
Hazelnuts.
hazelnuts make you yearn for chocolate, since the Europeans have us linked to hazelnuts and chocolate. But
Yeah.
but chestnuts, open fire. It's the lyric. You hear the song, you get in the mood. It strikes the chime that says, "Oh, it's the holiday now."
Yeah.
But it's too expensive. It's too costly.
I
Hey,
like Mel Torme's version was the best.
yeah. Well, let's see. Well, I don't know who sang it, but the one that I hear, I don't know if it's Johnny Mathis. It's a guy.
Everybody did it.
Yeah, everyone did.
Nat King Cole was
Yeah,
also.
Nat King Cole. Oh yeah, the king. All right. Now,
Anyway, yeah.
Now we talked about 2025. Do we do like George Clooney and get French citizenship? I mean, George Clooney, Amal, they're twins.
Yeah.
They've got French citizenship. I don't know. Canadian maybe. French. Can we trust the French? I went through my Francophile period, but I don't know.
No, the French, in my opinion,
Yeah.
are second most nationalistic to Germans.
Yeah, and they've got a right-wing problem there, and they've got the
Yeah.
plus the nationalism problem, and
Right.
you
You
think
have to say it. It's white nationalism. You have to say it.
well,
It is. Yeah.
although you go to France, I mean, all right, I haven't been there in 20 years, but still, it's worse. Well, not worse, but it's more the way it was when I was there 20 years ago because the immigration, because of they've got people coming to France from all over, all different religions, different ethnicities, different. I mean, I think French nationalism is kind of problematic because the colonial French, when they went out to those countries, those people from those countries are coming to Paris, and you think America is diverse. How do you define French nationalism in such a diverse country?
Same way I define it here.
Yeah, I mean it's
This
not.
is a very diverse country, but the nationalistic element within this country has a racial factor, right?
Yeah,
And that racial factor has been continuous throughout the existence of the nation. The same thing is true of any of the European countries, and so they go through these cycles, welcoming immigrants when they need them. I mean, it's sort of like the Trump policy on H-1Bs, right?
Right.
We're gonna either you pay your way in with big bucks, $1 million of investment, or you are the very restrictive and short list of desirable, right, technical skills, and then you can come in. And so this is just an exaggerated form of the Immigration Reform Act of 1965.
It really sounds like we're heading toward the United States of Mar-a-Lago, where you pay the fee to get in. It's America's the country club. Come on in. I mean, you pay $1 million or whatever it is he wants to charge, and you get the gold card. But that's what it's like.
Yeah, you're really just the fact of Mar-a-Lago, and this guy's ownership of several golf courses all over the world, right? All it does is revive my hatred for the game.
Well, I mean,
I grew up part of the time in my childhood on a local private country club because my father worked there on Mondays, in addition to his other full-time jobs. And the whole janitorial and ground staff, everything except the greenskeepers and the technical aspects of maintaining a course, right? Everything else was maintained by people of color, brown and black.
I just think you're right. I mean, it's hard to get in there and not see the stratification of society, the racism of society, which is why I guess it's important that we mention the fact that today is Tiger Woods' birthday.
Okay.
He turns 50.
And why is that? Why was he such a phenom when he happened?
I think when he came on the scene, I remember when I was writing for Asian Week, I said, he's diversity's champ, right? He people ask him, well, what are
Yeah.
you? Your mom's Thai, your father's black. If we're like the Jews, when your race comes to your mother, he is Asian American. He is the Asian American, and a lot of Asian American athletes are just like him. Doug Baldwin, um, even what's his name, the guy Kyle Murray, at the formerly the top quarterback in the Arizona, the Asian black, the cap, what Tiger called Kaplan Asian. They've been like world class athletes. Jordan Clarkson, Filipino black. uh, I saw the in athletics, Tiger Woods was the he really was diversity's champ, and he was just a phenom. And he was for a while really like untouchable, sort of like the early, the Warrior dynasties under Steve Kerr. They
Yeah.
unbeatable, and
Yep.
they said, "Oh, they always win. They're never going to lose a game." And then it's such a
The
fleeting
Niners
thing.
under Walsh. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you just say, "Wow," you honor the moment, but then what happened? I guess he's human, right?
Right.
Because I mean, it's not just the any failure in athletics or the downturn in his wins, but it really was being human.
Yeah.
His being a man, right? His sexual proclivities
Right. Well,
kind of turned on him.
and he's not alone. He's not alone in that. That's one of the problems with fame and fortune,
Yeah,
and particularly when you've lived a relatively Spartan life,
yeah.
becoming the athlete that he was. Also, his stroke is I've only seen a few doctors make comment about it, but
Hmm.
it's actually injurious
Yeah,
to the lower portion of the spinal column.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, he's let's see, he's had more surgeries than the 15 majors he won. That's how
that
serious
is
his health
that's a
issues.
hell of a price to pay.
Yeah. And this is the first year he didn't play a single tournament because he's got this ruptured Achilles tendon in March and a seventh back surgery in September. And, you know, this is the thing. He's not a machine.
That's right.
He's a human being.
That's right.
And so all the proclivities that brought him down, okay, on the one hand, a lot of people forgave him. They allowed his comeback, but he's also just a human being in terms of just flesh and blood, and you got to fix those things. You got to maintain, otherwise you have more surgeries than majors won, and it's sad.
And
But
one of the cooler things that I observed about him was when he had his son out with him,
mm,
and
uh,
his son
oh,
is
Charlie,
showing,
yeah,
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 Charlie's showing a lot of talent as well. So
yeah.
the apple doesn't fall far.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Charlie's great. I hope he does well, but man, I mean, now when you read about Tiger, uh I mean, it's about, hey, he's 50. Do you remember? It becomes a nostalgia story, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It becomes
And what do you think? Shouldn't he accept that? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean,
you
I
know,
think I think we accept that because I mean, we wanted to glom onto him as, hey, he's our hope, right? I mean, he came in at the right time. We're talking about diversity. Here's a guy. I thought he would change how people saw
golf.
America, culture, golf,
Nah, man.
kinda a little bit. I mean, but maybe just in golf. But I think you can make a case that the Asian women
There it is.
from
I
did more
was
for
going to raise
golf.
that same. I was going to raise that
Yeah,
same factor.
yeah.
That the
Michelle
Asian
Wie.
women.
Michelle Wie at Stanford did more
Yeah,
for golf.
yeah.
All the Asian women from Asia did
It's
more
not,
for
and then
golf.
yeah, it's not just Stanford. Well, Oh, it isn't. Don't you think it's more than coincidental that they come from Stanford? That
Yeah.
so many of them. I
Yeah,
don't want to
well,
say.
the thing is, Tiger was made us aware of Asian America, and he was a great symbol. But Tiger, he loved his mom. Yeah, you'll see him kissing his mom at the end of the tournaments, and that was great. But he was kind of a reluctant role model, reluctant to say, "Hey, this isn't about." He didn't say I'm Asian American. He said I'm Kabbalah Asian. I'm everything, and I think that was one of the great things about Tiger, really, that he had this talent that was so beyond race, so beyond. I mean, this is beyond Jackie Robinson, right? Um, I mean, at some point, Jackie Robinson breaks a color barrier, but at some point, Jackie Robinson is just still the great player,
Yeah.
and Tiger's just the great player.
Yep.
And you don't mention race, but he didn't. I mean, he sort of paved the way, but you look at the PGA, or you look at the golf because it's merged with Live, and
Oh man,
it's all over. It's international. It's not about race. It's just
about money.
it's all about money. So I think he was a reluctant activist, and in some ways he was a bad activist. He was just who he was out there, swinging the golf club, trying to win. His body broke down. His morals broke down. He's a regular guy. Okay, we look back nostalgically and say, "Oh my God, maybe Tiger's the guy. Could have been the guy." Actually, you look back and say it could have been more. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been more,
Yep.
and it wasn't. So you don't blame Tiger for that. You just say he inched us forward in the diversity talk, in the diversity debate.
Yeah. But there's resistance, right,
Yeah.
from the element within the society that it's always there. That that's
See,
what I wish people could just do. I mean,
yeah.
can't you accept the fact that there is an element within American society that is continuous, that is racist, that is class bound, right? And understand that that's part of the human condition.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons that the psychology of socialism, uh, when it's actually enforced, right,
Mhm.
is immediately subject to challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, because people want to get ahead, they want to be better off.
And here's the thing that we should point out, that while we talk about the racism that exists in society and how bad it still is for the great majority of people, thank goodness we have people like Tiger Woods. Thank goodness we have people like Beyonce,
Oh,
who has
billionaire.
he's reached billionaire status with Cowboy Carter. And if you look at all the musicians who are on Forbes billionaire list, they are Beyonce,
Mhm.
Jay-Z, her husband,
Rihanna.
Taylor Swift,
That's right.
not
And
black,
Rihanna.
Rihanna, and Bruce Springsteen,
Right.
right? Those are the five.
So
And
it's 3-2. It's three
yeah,
to two, man.
I mean, but it's amazing though. You think, oh yeah, blacks are so downtrodden, and then people say, oh, what about Beyonce and Jay-Z? You know,
Yep.
their her Renaissance tour in 2023 grows nearly 600 million. But you got to say, all right, so is America racist if we made Beyonce and Jay-Z royalty?
See, that's the problem. When I talk about the existence of an element or a segment of American society
Mm,
that is representative of this cultural factor, all right,
mhm,
people immediately think that I'm saying the whole society is racist. Okay.
right.
I will say that the society is structured in a manner that supports these elements of racism. It's structured that way. Okay. And so, even though it's only a minority, relatively speaking, of American society that holds white Christian nationalist beliefs that are consistent with the maintenance hardline racism,
Mhm.
okay, they still have an outsized effect. And unless you accept the fact that that exists, you will always be subject. You will always be vulnerable to that effect. Okay, you will not guard against it, which is what the Democratic Party and liberals in general failed to do. Okay, they wanted to move the society forward and make it more just, but at the same time, they were assuming that the effects of the Warren Court, right, would have some level of permanence and that they wouldn't be challenged.
Yeah.
Well, but when you have an element outspoken in the Republican Party and among conservative independents, an outspoken element that said, we want to reverse, we want to take over, we want to get rid of the New Deal. I mean, they're going all the way back to Roosevelt.
Hey, if Beyonce and Jay-Z can be billionaires, we don't need a New Deal. Black people can rise.
Yeah, we could all be billionaires too, right? So all of these people that are white Christian nationalists believe in capitalism because they think they can also be rich and become billionaires, right?
Well, I mean,
they're not even going to college, man.
Doesn't happen to everybody. Yeah,
they're not protecting the trades, right? A lot of them are anti-union. Okay?
Yeah,
it makes no sense at all. Okay,
yeah.
But that's what they are. And then don't you dare tell them that they're exercising their right to vote in a manner that's inconsistent with their own interests.
Yeah,
because they'll take out a gun and threaten you with it.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing about the Beyonce thing and Jay-Z. That people will look at that just like they looked at in the 80s. They would point to Bill Cosby on TV making tons of money before, it was revealed that he spent a lot of money on Quaaludes. And, but, people used to point to Cosby and say, hey, we got Bill Cosby.
He also spent a lot of money at the Playboy Club.
At the Playboy Club. But, but here's the thing, and people will like to say that class is so important because of Jay-Z, Beyonce, Bill Cosby, they all made it in Hollywood. But there's still racism because if Beyonce and Jay-Z went down, went incognito somewhere in America, they would not be seen as billionaires.
They're still black.
Equals.
They're still black.
Yeah, they'll be seen as black. Yeah.
They're still seen as black now, even though they're billionaires.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at Puffy Combs. They used the Mann Act against him. I'm not saying what he was doing was right, but if you saw Dave Chappelle's new special, he does talk about the Mann Act and Jack Johnson, how the Mann Act was intended to get after people who mixed races, people who were with white women, and Jack Johnson was married to a white woman. And, it's not exactly synonymous with Jack Johnson did and what Puffy did, but there's that fear, and they use the Mann Act against Puffy. And it's interesting. If you haven't seen Chappelle's special, he does talk about that toward the end. And it's an interesting history lesson. I'm not saying what Puffy Combs did was good. They got him. And he, it's just an interesting bit of history. If you saw the Chappelle special. So,
did Jack Johnson beat up on his old lady?
I don't think he did, but I don't know how faithful he was. But I think what is true is there was a kind of fear, certainly against Jack Johnson, about race mixing. Filipinos felt that too. When it comes to Puffy, I think, Cassie Ventura, she's Latina, I think. I'm not sure what her ethnicity was.
Probably part,
Yeah. So anyway, look, we got into this cultural thing. It's good to talk culture while we can, because the news is pretty dreadful. I'm wondering about this war thing. Are we here we have
Donald. No, we're not at war. Obviously, Congress, right, has the sole power to declare war. It's in the thing called the Constitution. Remember that?
Right. So why is Donald Trump acting in a way that
the Supreme Court has given him the opportunity to do so?
Yeah.
And he's got people working for him in the military that are willing to carry out the orders.
Because what happened in Venezuela, now that it's been confirmed that the CIA was behind this bombing of a dock in Venezuela. Yesterday, Uh, Trump sort of hinted at it or said that, yeah, this is true. But now we know the first time, there's been a strike in Venezuela in no act of Congress to declare this an act of war. So it's an illegal act, is what it is, right?
Not according to the Supreme Court. If it went to the Supreme Court, I think that same majority, at least 5-4, if not 6-3, would still say it's within the purview of executive action.
Well, and this is the problem of our Constitution and where we are today. And people have always, during the last year, said, "Are we at a constitutional crisis? Are we we're in a state of a constitutional chaos, which by definition is crisis, and but it's resolved on behalf of the executive branch and Trump because
see when the crisis is not physical, right? When they don't see themselves being injured, when they don't see America under attack, right? Yeah, I just lost your camera.
Oh, there you are. All right.
Okay.
All right. So when you have what now?
Unless it turns physical, and while it remains abstract, right? Constitutional crisis. People don't give a doo-doo. Okay, they don't really care. So it sounds like an legal academic argument, right? Are we in a constitutional crisis? They don't even see the fact that American institutions are failing miserably in just protecting their interests. The CDC, for example, the spreading of measles, for example, going on right now. Okay, as long as it's only 2,000 incidents and it's spread out and they're sporadic, right? Okay, people aren't going to get upset. But when it starts turning into 10,000, if it turns into 15,000, 20,000, and if more of the red states where there are people who are more likely, right, to be affected by the cutbacks in medical insurance, right, the cutbacks in medical providers, right, okay, and when that hits, then they'll say it's the Democrats' fault.
Well, I just
that's what they're gonna do, man.
Yeah,
and remember COVID. Remember COVID. I thought it was a hoax. Okay, and then they died. Right? Yeah. They beat up on their nurses. Okay, and their medical caretakers. Okay, because it was a hoax. Because they believed, right, that all you had to do was drink some freaking Lysol.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just think that this is why you see these actions and they're okay. And we get this normalization in 2025.
Not okay. And all of this stuff was predictable.
Right. Because of what we said at the beginning with Project 2025.
No. Even before that, when the guy started coming down the golden elevator in his building, okay, it was predictable.
Yeah.
It was predictable.
All right. Now, let's, Monday, there was a number of things happening. Zelensky went in with Trump. Well, that was Sunday. But then on Monday, Trump calls Putin, and Putin says, hey, my house got targeted.
But no evidence, no photos, no video, nothing.
So it sounds like, false flag, kind of rhetoric to boost sympathy for Russia. But it's just strange.
That's going to work. Going to work, right? Like he's going to get sympathy. They say, damn, they didn't get him, though.
Well, we should know better that it's not about sympathy, but it just shows. I mean, Trump is tipping his hand all over the place.
It's justification, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to bomb the hell out of him now. He's already been bombing the hell out of him. So he wants to increase that aggression. Okay. He wants to up the death toll, right?
Yeah.
Right now. And then at the same time, everybody's saying, okay, well, there's a serious plan here, for peace accord, and so they're meeting with all of these people, Witkoff and Kushner, and it's good, and they're working hard, okay, and they're making this work. And then what did Trump? He admitted it was me who said we're not going to give them the missiles.
Yeah,
they're not getting the missiles.
It really is a kind of how it's. You got to look at it as how quickly can the U.S. force Zelensky and Ukraine to surrender? And I don't think that they're going to do that. And in the meantime, they're trying to make it look like, Putin is under siege. When the original thing is Russia, big superpower, invades a sovereign nation, Ukraine. We should be siding with Ukraine, and yet we are siding almost 99% with Russia. It's just, at least we didn't have an Oval Office kind of
They're buds,
debacle this
man.
year.
They're buds. They're
Yeah.
buds. Trump builds everything on personal relationships, or what he perceives to be his
Yeah.
personal relationship. Now, you know damn well any other intelligent being, dictatorial or otherwise, right?
Yeah.
In the leadership of all of these other nations throughout the world, they're looking at Trump and they see a fool. They see a stupid, crazy person. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they play him. All of the gold gifts and everything, they're playing him,
Yeah.
Okay. And it's
Oh.
really obvious. It's really obvious. And the funny thing you kept asking me is the Epstein thing going to be the thing that brings, I said, no, it's going to be side action, because they're never really going to release all the information.
All right. Let's get to the Epstein thing, because I just think they say there's a million more documents.
Well,
a million more documents.
Okay. Right before the Epstein thing, the actuality is that all of this stuff that he's doing, and including, we got into this segment by talking about Venezuela.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that's going to bring him down.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Epstein,
I agree.
Okay. So
but
yeah,
Epstein. But I think Epstein. The thing about Epstein that gets me is, people on both sides. I mean, the Democrats want to find out what's going on because of the women. It's always the women. Listen to the women. The Republicans,
the victims.
Well, the victims, yeah. But the Republicans, they're more into releasing the files out of transparency. And between the two, there should be some kind of common ground that would show just how bad Donald Trump has brought the U.S. Because of Epstein. Because the more you look at this situation, it's more than just, well, certainly more than one girl. There's like hundreds, maybe thousands, and as young as 14. So the biggest
figure I've heard. The biggest figure I've heard is 1,200.
1,200. Okay, yeah, I've heard into the thousands. Safer to say hundreds if you don't have absolute proof. But what really gets me is that this was the side action. There was something else.
That's right.
That they're coming. The girls are the side action. They're never. It's not the thing that got the billionaires and the elite together, and it's not the thing that turned Epstein on. What really is interesting is how
it's probably not the thing that made him rich too.
Right. Well, people talk about, there's the deep state. This is not deep state stuff. Deep state is really about the bureaucrats, and we need the bureaucrats, and Doge fired all the bureaucrats.
That was the danger of the deep state morality. That's the danger of that fake morality, right?
Right. But
the deep state is career civil servants.
And so it's not the deep state that we need to worry about. It's the Uber government that we needed to worry about. The layer of officialdom and elitism.
Yeah, man, we're gonna lose our half our audience if you just keep saying there's no such thing as the Illuminati.
Well, I'm not saying they're the Illuminati. I'm saying that there are rich people who feel they're above the law, and they work on this level above normal governments. And when they can't be, I mean, this is why nations that are just a bunch of people with a bunch of sand holdings in the Middle East say, hey, we're a nation state. And then they form banks and they launder money and all that. There's a layer of those kind of people.
And they dabble in Western nation politics.
Right. They think they're above the law. And Epstein, with connections to all that money, this is what the Epstein files are hiding. And it's the girls. That's the side action. The girls are the side action.
That's right. And I hate to put it that way, because if it were any other administration that was going through this,
Mm.
that would be a singular element, right?
Mm.
And it would bring down the administration. The fact that
Yes,
you know,
yes,
the only
yes.
reason that the only reason that it doesn't is because there's so much else going on.
Right. And it's almost like this relentless, relentless onslaught of badness, relentless onslaught of
It's too
relentless
generalistic.
onslaught of corruption.
Yeah.
ROC.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. He said the C word.
Well, it's corrupt. I mean, it's
It's in your
evil.
face. It's in
It
your face.
it's
What
evil,
the
but it's
emoluments
corrupt. Yeah,
clause? The emoluments clause means nothing. Okay.
emoluments.
Yes.
That's where you can't by the Constitution you cannot benefit from being in government, but
And
and
nobody
that's
even questions it. Nobody
and that's
even questions it, man. I mean, people are giving him gifts and they're made out of gold and they don't even question it, right? You
yeah,
know?
and everything he does, from the plane, from Qatar, from
Oh
the
man.
the ballroom, and then put the name on the Kennedy
We're not going to
Center.
waste your dollars. We're not going to waste taxpayer dollars, okay? Well, Donald, okay? Who's paying for the freaking ballroom?
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, none of your taxpayer dollars. We're getting donations from countries that
Yeah.
we're going to owe favors to.
Which,
We're going to
which again, is that not emoluments?
emoluments. Hey,
Oh,
we do not have we do not have
oh.
a polysyllabic
Look,
constitution,
it is
Daniel.
open
Professor
corruption.
Professor Dan,
Open
we
corruption.
do not have a polysyllabic life. We're all monosyllabic. Yes, no, truth, lie, monosyllabic.
Ah,
That's where we're
I
at.
resent
Don't
your
even.
reference to saliva.
Yeah,
Anyway, what?
we're not. No,
Oh,
we're not.
oh,
We're
is
look.
that
It's
Slavic? What?
no, no.
Slavic? Oh, what?
We're very simple here. We don't want to lose any
Oh, tell
audience
me about
members.
it. That's
We're
the American public. They're very simple here.
we're very simple. Look, I was the Washington correspondent for my weekly reader.
And no, it scares the hell out of me.
Third grade. We went up to third grade level. This is what the White House, Congress, not the White House.
Yeah, right.
All monosyllabic. Yes, no, truth, lies. Yeah. Good,
Yeah.
bad, ugly.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's
So
well, you end up with a lot of Germanic, Anglo-Germanic four-letter words.
look, and the use of the word corruption, 3 syllables. No, we can't say that. There's some people who are bad and some people are good.
Okay, I got
Line
one
up
syllable. I got a one syllable. Crime.
crime. Okay, crime is bad. Crime is put them in jail. Put them in jail with the monosyllabic word of the United States. Dan, this is the problem. We're trying to get too many syllables in here. We need the fewer syllables, the better.
You
Fewer
know,
syllables,
and,
the better.
yeah. The thing that I'm laughing at is that you're so right.
It's the truth. Truth.
It's so true. It's nearly absolutely true. You know?
It's so. Of course, it's the truth. It's 1 syllable truth.
Yeah.
1 syllable. That's it. We don't have time for more. Trump, 1 syllable. Obama, 3 syllables. Bad.
No bad.
Clinton, 2 syllables. Bad. Guillermo, oh no, bad. 3 syllables. Trump,
Some
one
kind of
syllable.
Spanish crap, man. Is
Oh,
he
yeah.
legal? Is he legal? That's what I gotta say.
I'm saying.
One of our doctor friends said to us, "Oh, hey, wishing you happy holidays. Are you guys going to take any trips?" And I
Yeah.
said, "I'm brown, and my surname is Gonzalez.
No
Very
trips.
limited trips."
No trips. No trips. Not even an ayahuasca venture. No.
No, and I gotta really be careful about my accent.
Yeah, I know.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to develop, like maybe you can't even do a British accent because they'll think that's a colonial effect.
Oh man,
So,
yeah. I mean, you're a foreigner for
people-
sure.
Yeah, you're a foreigner for sure.
Yeah,
So
I kind of miscalculated. I was hoping I would get into the Canadian fringes. I didn't yet. There's a couple fringes. I'm still open. I'm open to because you do a lottery to get in. I was going to go to New York City, but this year I said no. I'm not going to go to New York. I got into the New York City Fringe, but I'm not going this year. And I should have. I didn't go in because I'm going to be in Boston a week later, and I thought, oh, I'll save all my shekels for my Boston trip. But yeah. How do we? Oh, so I'm not traveling as much. I'm going to go to Fresno. I'm doing some stuff in San Francisco, but I'm not traveling as much. And oh, I might go to Edinburgh. I might go to Edinburgh,
Scotland.
Scotland. Yes, because that's the Fringe is there. I'm not going to go to the Fringe, just maybe to visit, just to go to. It's sort of like the Fringe person's mecca to go to Edinburgh. But my
Maybe
father.
visit a couple of distillers.
Maybe maybe I'll go off the wagon for just a
Check out the
little
prices. Check out the
taste.
prices and see if there's a way you can escape tourist prices.
Yeah. So they'll charge me 3 times for Lagavulin,
Yeah,
the
yes.
the Scotch of choice. Now, suddenly Lagavulin is we love smoky
Yeah,
stuff.
it's right. All of a sudden, everybody knows what it is, right?
Lagavulin. I just
Uh,
like to say it, Lagavulin, Lagavulin. That's not monosyllabic. We just call it lag. When you drink the
too
lag.
many, too many
Yeah.
vowel sounds.
Yeah.
Too
Too
many
many.
vowel sounds sounds foreign. It's too
All right,
foreign.
so look, I'm serious about this Epstein thing. If people get more into Epstein, they realize that man, we are not transparent. There's so much hidden. If we knew even a smidgen of what they're not telling us, oh my God, our heads would explode. I mean, if the government was more transparent, and this is the thing about journalism, because journalists are dying to get in there and find out what's going on, because the best news is the stuff that people don't want you to have. I mean, seriously, the best news is the stuff that's why we have anonymous sources.
Yeah,
Anonymous. So that's 4 syllables. That's no good. We got people who don't want to talk because they're not authorized to talk, and they give you the stuff. That's a source. That's
yeah.
a good source. That's good news. But
And
no
why don't they
one.
want you to talk? Because they know they're going to lose their job. And the same thing, and it goes all the way
Oh
up
yeah,
the
yeah,
chain. Goes
yeah.
all the way up the chain.
Well,
So
that's why America can't be transparent. No matter how sheer Christine Nome wants to dress, or Caroline Levitt, or whatever. Caroline Levitt, by the way, is pregnant.
I wasn't me, man.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But that
Well, how do
she
you
is.
know? I mean,
She's a
that's
good
that's
example.
the thing for Filipinos. You didn't know that?
Oh no, but she's a good example
Of what?
of. Well, the American birth rate, 1.6 per woman. That's not going to cut it. Got to give birth. Got to give birth, ladies. Got to.
You got it.
America.
Well,
America
according to
depends on
JD
it.
Vance, right? JD
Bir-
Vance is right up there with, we got to stop them other brown people and them
yeah,
yellow people. And then, if you ain't white, it ain't right.
got to give birth. And you white
Yeah,
ladies
white
out
people
there,
got to give birth. White people got to give birth. And then you
well,
got to open it up. You got to open up immigration to the right people. Okay.
right people, $1 million, Mar-a-Lago. That's
Yeah.
the way you do it.
Uh,
But you got to give birth, ladies. If you're white, burn the condoms. Burn the condoms.
no.
No birth.
You can buy the condoms. Get the Vatican condoms.
Vatican
Blessed by the
condoms.
Pope. They're blessed by the
Blessed by
Pope.
the Pope. He blesses them and he puts little holes in them.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is they little pinholes?
They look.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
They look.
That-
They look like a garlic press.
yeah, yes, that's it. Garlic press. No, I'm telling you, 1.6 births per woman. That's not going to cut it, America. We got to give birth. Got to pump it out. Got to pump it out.
Yeah.
No plan B. We got to go get baby all the way. No plan
Especially,
B.
and they're increasing the pressure by getting rid of all of the freaking immigrants.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
more, So they're saying they got 1 million. That's the score, right? They want to. That's what the goal is. Okay, per year. That's what they want to get rid of. And they said they were going to try and get rid of 30 million. Remember? I mean, that wasn't in Project 2025, but it was in their speeches.
well,
I was saying, but there aren't 30 million in the country. Damn it!
yeah. Well, look, the problem now is they're changing not just illegal immigration or
Right.
immigration that is,
Birthright. Birthright.
They're going after legal immigration,
That's
and that,
another one of the cases that's up in front of the court. Where I can't
yeah,
wait to hear what the oral arguments are.
yeah.
You
Well,
can hear the oral arguments. See, here we go. I'm gonna go to C-SPAN and run right through the tapes,
uh-huh.
okay? Because I want to hear the oral arguments, and I want to hear what Kavanaugh has to say. He's been backing up, right? He's been backing up a little bit, right, by trying to
Well,
explain what it really means. It's like, well, if they get detained, it's only for a short period of time. Some citizens might get detained, but they're let go right away, and there's no, you know. And what did he have to do now? Now he's saying, well, the police can do all of that as long
yeah.
as they don't use excessive force. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So now he's backing up, right?
Well, I just think, look, immigration is going to be big 2026. Those decisions, birthright, that's going to come down. I think Epstein is going to be that's going to be even a bigger situation when people start saying, why can't we be more transparent? Why can't we can't afford transparency?
Well, we
We
don't
can't
really
afford the
want to be transparent because we're protecting the Democrats. It was all Democrats.
No,
It
we
was
could be,
all Democrats.
but Filipinos, we love transparent. We love those barong Tagalogs. We're transparent. We're showing
Yeah,
off.
you're not
We're showing off our
transparent.
white T-shirt. Our white
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Mine's not completely transparent, but it's all right.
So usually I have, because I am in my closet. Usually
Right.
I have my barong Tagalog hanging here somewhere. Oh, look, I have a part of a barong here, so you can see
Okay.
it's transparent. Oh,
No,
I can see
it's translucent.
translucent. Oh, I cannot see my teeth. My teeth.
Yeah. No, I have mine. I have them embroidered little birds above my nipples.
Little birds.
Yeah,
Oh.
little birds above my nipples.
See, here's the actual shirt. See, again. See, kind of transparent.
Okay, there you go.
Boy, I'm the ghost of Emil Pass.
Yeah, it's just that's semi.
Semi-transparent.
Yeah, and that's all they wanted. They wanted to be able to see that you were not carrying weapons.
Is that's why they had the barong
Yeah.
Tagalog?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Oh wow! But I'm carrying my weapon all the time. You know what I mean? I got my weapon. They did not know that. They did not
In
know
the
that.
pants, but my pants are not translucent.
Oh, this is my barong.
That's a nice one.
Oh well, thank you. I never I don't wear it because it's cold. I like to wear these things. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So Dan,
So
in the closing
it is
minutes
a
of
symbol. It is therefore a symbol. The barong,
the
okay,
barong, yeah.
their symbol of resistance. That's what it's all about.
Oh, really? Hey,
So yeah, they're caving into the power by wearing something that shows that they don't have, right? They don't have weapons.
no
However,
weapons. No
when
weapons.
you wear it, when you continue to wear it beyond that, then it becomes a reminder, right, of that suppression.
Oh, so I must wear barong Tagalog and my warrior T-shirt underneath.
Because yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, Dan. All right, let's end off on a high note. The 49ers played probably the greatest game of the
Those were
year.
the best games.
I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, when you've witnessed a good football game.
Yeah.
That was one of those times you say that was a great game.
Well, what made it great for me was that they were playing the top-rated defense.
They weren't the top rated Bears. They weren't the top rated.
They were one of the top-rated defenses. Yes, they were. They just weren't doing well because they've lost a lot of guys to injury.
Ah, I see. Well,
Right.
I
But
thought they were okay.
remember the interceptions now and stuff. So
Oh yes. Well, that was a great game, and I guess and the Rams lost last night. They looked,
yeah.
they came back, but
Yeah.
they're
Oh, it was close. It was a
it was
lot
close. Yeah. And I thought Puka Nakua caught that ball at the end.
Yeah,
I thought he was in balance.
But Stafford got what? He got ripped 3 times or 4 times? 3 times.
I only saw the end of that game, but the 49ers can take the Rams, I think, although they haven't.
They have.
but they have in the past.
Yeah,
And
they won one and lost one.
so here's the thing: are the Seahawks going to come in and beat the 49ers, or are the Niners going to hang in there?
The Niners look really good right now. I would feel a lot better if Kittle was in, but Tonjes is very good. You know, he obviously was very useful.
Went to
Uh,
Cal. Went to Cal.
yeah, he's a local guy, another local guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, not only did he go to Cal, but I think he's from the peninsula, right? He's somewhere.
I don't know where he went to high school.
He's
but
down the peninsula.
I know he went to Cal.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think they have enough to beat the Seahawks.
They do have enough to beat them, but it's going to be close.
It's going to be the
tight.
home field advantage. That's going to help.
That's going to help a lot.
Man,
A lot. You got to get loud.
And playing for home field. And you know what? Even though I usually would go to games, I find a way to go to a game if it's local, if it's this big. I have no desire to be there in person.
Because
there's something wrong with it. Because traffic. It's not in San Francisco. They show pictures on TV of the Ferry Building, but Santa Clara is like 50 miles away from there.
That's right.
They're not near the Ferry Building. That's why there's no traffic at the Ferry Building, because it's all down there.
Right.
down in Santa Clara, and find parking down there. Oh, good luck.
Get
out of traffic.
Go to
good luck.
Our thing is, if you're going to go to a game down there, you go early, you get a hotel, right, and you stay overnight.
You get a Patel hotel. I got a good friend. He's a Patel. He's got a hotel, nice hotel. Not because he went up.
Right.
He didn't get. He started out in a small hotel south of the market, and they got a big one.
That's where they
in San Jose. And so
they have more than hotels, man. They owned a lot of the flop houses too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my friend, he's got his Patel hotel, and we owned we had season tickets to the Giants together, or not together, but he was in the next seats, and then we got to be friends. I haven't talked to him in a while because he got you know what happens. People get grandkids, and they just they're gone.
They share the tickets with the kids,
or their grandkid world, and so I haven't talked to him in a while.
Sure, I was number 3 on people's list.
Yeah,
they would go to their kids, and then they would go to me. So
Oh well, yeah. So I just think I did look to see what the price of tickets would be for the game on Saturday. I love to sit in the end zone. I learned this from being a Raider fan and being a Raider ticket holder, season ticket holder in the end zone. Great place to see a game. If you got to be high enough, not low enough, because you don't want people to jump up and touch you and stuff. But just like in the middle, great end zone. Because that camera, when they have a camera looking down at the line of scrimmage, and you see the holes opening up.
Yeah, you're in the shot.
Yeah, it's a great way to watch football. But I looked at the end zone tickets for the 49ers. I think like $600 a ticket.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We just looked it up.
$1,200 for 2 if you really have to bring a spouse. If you really want. No, I think 600. And then actually, the where you sit up in the nosebleeds and you get a view of an overview of the game, not a drone kind of view of the game, not bad. But then you're paying, once again, $400 or $500 a ticket.
Sure.
I don't know. I think I would save the money, buy a bigger screen TV, and watch an 80-inch version of the game in 4K. And and that's just one game. That's just one game. And then with the rest, you go on Kalshi and make a bet or something.
One of the things I like about our the changes that I made in our TV service is that you can get the playback in AI tells you what the most important plays were, and then you can
smart.
Look through that. Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like. I bought the NFL package where I get the multi-view, which is good because then you can be in all the different cities at once.
It drives my wife crazy. She says I am not ADD like you are.
no, it's good because you can say, "Oh, Shador Sanders did well." Oh, and then you can say, "Oh,
Yeah,
Tua got benched." Oh, that's too bad. Oh, and then but you get to watch all the different games.
yeah, you do.
Anyway, all right. You want to venture? Who's gonna? It's like I think it's Seattle by 1.5. That's
Really?
what they're saying. Yeah, right now.
I think it's going to be the Niners by 10.
Oh boy, that's I think by 7. I would if it's
How
Seattle if
it's
it's
going to come
Seattle by
down
one
to,
and a half. I
yeah,
would take
well,
I take the Niners in the points because
if
I think
our if our defense plays as well, even as well as they did, last night, or the night before. Uh, well, what day is this? Oh, yeah,
this is Tuesday. Yeah.
Sunday.
Well,
Yeah, they did a Monday night. Yeah.
yeah,
So is
yeah.
this Tuesday? Okay, I got it. Okay.
They did a
Anyway,
Sunday
so
night.
if
They
they
did a
played,
Sunday night game.
if they played as well as that, I think they'll be able to hold the Seahawks. The question comes down to how strong is the Seahawks defense.
Well,
He used a lot of good
yeah.
receivers, and I'm worried that the their secondary might be really good. I have to check and see if they have any injuries.
They've got a good defense. Here's the
They
problem.
do.
The problem is, can the 49ers score more than their own
Well,
defense
obviously,
gives
yeah.
up? Yeah, but can they score more than their own defense gives up? So if their own defense gives up 50 points, the 49ers have to score 60.
Yeah.
You know, if the 49ers defense gives up 45 points, then their offense has to score like, 46. I mean,
Yep.
it's really or 47. I mean, that's what it boils down to. I think it's going to be the same kind of game where there's no good offenses. But here's the thing. If the 49ers have a good offensive day and Sam Darnold has a bad offensive day, then maybe it's closer. Maybe it's like, 30-27. And then you try to make it so that it's not on the last kick. Because, man, the 49ers, they could have lost it in the last play of the game. They could have lost it easily in the last minute,
Okay. Yeah. They could
on
have.
Sunday.
They could. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
They need a pass rush.
that
They
was
need a pass rush. I
when
mean,
they scored their last touchdown. I was screaming that's you got 2 minutes. You left them 2 minutes and 15 seconds, man.
yeah.
That's an eternity,
I
dude.
mean,
You know?
like with that pass rush, it reminded me of schoolyard football, right? Like one of the touchdowns that Purdy, when he passed, I guess it was Jusek, and he was open, and he was like
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
around. That was schoolyard football, and then the hook and ladder play,
Oh
that was
yeah.
schoolyard football too. But what reminded me of schoolyard football is the 49ers passing rush. They have no passing rush. It was like five Mississippi rush, right? Which gives the quarterback. Did you ever play five Mississippi rush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
One Mississippi, two
Two
Mississippi, three
Mississippi.
Mississippi,
Yeah.
four,
Yeah.
and then you go in and I mean that's schoolyard ball. That's schoolyard ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Five Mississippi rush.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, so
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
I will see you hopefully later. Thank you very much. Happy New Year 2026. It's going to be a good New Year because we're going to see how far we test transparency.
Yeah,
How
just
far
let me
we're-
know. Keep. Call me when you're on. If you're gonna do Bart, call me when you're on.
I'll
Bart.
let you know. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll call you after the show. All
Okay.
right, there he
All right.
goes. Daniel Phil Gonzalez. Happy New Year. And there he goes, my friend, College of Ethics, Asian American Studies Professor Emeritus.
All power to the people.
San
All
Francisco
power
State
to the
one of the original strikers.
Power to the people.
Okay, there he goes.
Out.
There he goes. 2026. A happy 2026 to Dan. Happy 2026 to you. We'll talk about Zoran Mondani maybe on a subsequent show. Maybe after. Maybe Mondani will say something. Anyway, all right. That was Dan. We talked about all those things. Beyonce, Tiger Woods. Check us out. Beyonce, we talked about. I'm going to have to add Beyonce to the list here so that people will, whoop, Tiger Woods and Beyonce. Because that was interesting. I mean, sometimes, things come up and we say, oh, we're going to talk about that. And it was interesting. Tiger Woods and Beyonce. So let me remind you again, my show, 69 Emil and Amok, A Real Journalist Stands Up. It's coming January 17th at Potrero Stage. Now, some people said, oh, Potrero Stage, where is that, Emil? Well, it's over there on 18th and Daharo, around there. Check it out. Playgroundsf.vbo tickets. Playgroundsf.vbotickets.com. You can get your tickets there. I'll show it to you. There's the link. You can always contact me at amok.com or get the ticket link there. Thank you for listening to this show. And really, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. And that's it. I'd like to close with a little meditation. One of my meditative gurus did a retirement thing last night. Or they did a Zoom. I think he was in Arizona or something. But Shinzen Young is really one of my meditative gurus. See, hear, feel. Oh, changed my meditative life. And then it got me into other guys, Vipassana, got me into insight meditation, Sharon Salzberg. And I don't know why I was so resistant to really embrace meditation. But Shinzen did help me. And so had to say, throw him kudos, love and blessings and all that last night. He's just 81, which is fairly young. Shinzen Young. Really, he taught me about the global unfiltered, the global something state. The acronym is GUS. The global I'm gonna hate myself for not memorizing it. But it's a way of looking at the world in this big picture way, and a way to understand your mind and speaking. And there, I just screwed up by not knowing what GUS meant. But look it up, Shinzen Young, GUS. It's a way of looking at the world, a way of keeping things in your head while you're speaking, which is antithetical to what I just did a second ago. Forgot what GUS meant. Anyway, I thanked him for that. And then another one of my gurus is Sharon Salzberg, who does the loving kindness meditations. And so we end our shows with a little loving kindness. As I wish for me, I wish for you. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. Emil Guillermo here. Till next time, have yourselves a very happy New Year. Maybe I'll pop up and do something. Check out the YouTube channel at Emil and Professor 1. Check out Facebook. But if not, if this should hold you, we got a lot of good stuff here. Till next time, Mahal Kita.